Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Hello, all you paranormal freaks. It's the last Saturday of the month, and you know what that means. The veil is at its thinnest. So if you're brave enough, all of you hitchers and drifters, load up for a ride with Golden Jay and Logan as they traverse to the other side.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden Jay, hanging out with
his co-host and future ghost, just Logan.
And we are doing something totally different for this episode of The Other Side. We are actually in the same room together, and we brought a special guest. It is Chico Noise from the Call Guys podcast.
What's up?
He gets right up on it.
He's a trained professional.
Right up on the mic. Listen, my mic sits at like this level.
Right at your nipples?
Right below nipples.
Nipple level.
Nipple level?
Nipples. I like to project from my nipples. That's the best sound quality.
I really thought we'd have a whole crew out here with us, but everybody seems to be
lethargic,
fat and sassy in the house.
Everybody ate all the food and drank all the booze, and they're all watching babies play.
We have been drinking all day.
I mean, some of us have been drinking all day. Some of us have been drinking since noon.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't get here till noon.
I mean, that's your problem.
I did start a little bit later than everybody else, but I've been trying to keep up.
Good luck with that.
Nah, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna happen, and I'm okay with that.
I
but
recommend it.
We got. What am I drinking tonight, Gunner? I'm drinking.
That's a
Coors Banquet. Yeah,
that's good beer. It's the official beer of Cobra Kai. You can't mess with that.
It has some really good, like, slogan, like the something of beer.
Not good enough for you to remember.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Well, let's see. The king of beers is Budweiser.
Which is a bold lie.
Yeah, absolute bold lie. I cannot drink Budweiser.
Maybe at one point in time.
Champagne of beers.
No, that's Miller.
That's Miller Lite.
That's Miller High Life, isn't it?
Fuck,
it's one of those. But listen, you can only get it in Golden, Colorado.
Colorado.
Golden. One of these days, I want to get out to that brewery. That's on my bucket list of shit to do. Is to get out to the Coors distillery.
And that's where?
It's in Golden, Colorado, which is a sub of Denver.
And you've never been to Golden, Colorado?
Mm-mm. Can you believe that?
Denver?
Never been to Denver.
Get your shit together.
I got a lot to do in Denver because not only do they have the Coors Brewery, but they also have Red Rock. And they have the Broncos. So I could just check all that shit off my list in one big long weekend.
What do you want to do with the Broncos?
The Chiefs play the Broncos in Denver.
Fuck yeah.
That's fair. I mean, that's
Mile
fair.
High Stadium, baby.
I don't know sports ball. I know the fuck what the Rocky. What is it called? The
Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, the Colorado Rockies. I know that.
Yeah.
Because there's some awesome concerts that go out there, and plus, like, there's nothing like that.
No, wait a second. The Colorado Rockies is the Avalanche are the hockey team. The Rockies are the baseball team.
No, I'm talking about
You're talking about Red Rock.
Red Rock.
Yeah.
Red Rock is. I don't give. The only hockey teams I give a fuck about are the Bruins and the Devils.
That's no, you got to care about the Avs, man, because that's one of the greatest teams ever played. Patrick Waugh, Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg.
Greatest teams ever played at a certain period of time.
Yeah, a certain period of time.
For all those that love hockey, there you go.
For all those.
The Bruins are always contenders. They're just always hated. Also.
Listen, there was when the Avs were the big team to beat when Forsberg and Sakic were there with Waugh in the net. There was a Boston Bruin, long-time Boston Bruin, and they actually worked out a deal with Colorado for him to come there to win his Stanley Cup, and then he went back and retired a Bruin.
Yeah.
And it was one of the coolest things I thought with both teams.
Give the man the W.
Yep.
That's all I
He wanted that cup, and they helped him get it. I thought it was awesome.
The Ducks are trying to pull people back in this year. They just swapped their jerseys back over to the Mighty Ducks logo, like the old one.
Or the old one.
They're trying to be like, come on, we suck, but we look cool now. So, sports ball.
I really tried to finish out the season in hockey. Are they still going now? I don't even know.
Yes.
No, I thought
I think it just
it
just recently wrapped up because
Yeah.
I'm not getting scores anymore. I don't even watch it anymore. I keep scores for my teams because the older you get, the harder it is to fucking watch hockey on a screen because it is hard to keep track of that little puck on there. Now, if you can catch a live game, absolutely.
Now, have you been to a live NHL game?
No, I've only been to local. We used to have a team in Beaumont that folded up pretty quick, and I used to go out there and watch them, the Beaumont Wildcatters. But they gone now. They gone. Turns out people in Southeast Texas could give fuck less about hockey.
Hockey is not on their agenda.
No, I've never been in an NHL game. I thought long and hard about it when Nevada got their team, the Knights, the Golden Knights. Like when they first put them in, I was like, how often do you get to watch a team come into being? And I was like, I should go out there. But then they went on that fucking heater that year, and tickets were through the fucking roof. And I mean, they did great. They did fantastic that year. Unfortunately, they haven't done that great since.
Didn't they win the cup in their second year?
Yeah, second year. Second year as a team, and they won their cup. But that's because Vegas poured so much fucking money into that team. They were just like, give us anybody and everybody that's worth their shit.
Yep. But what a great name, the Golden Knights. Come on, man.
The Golden Knights. You would figure it would have been like a gambler thing or something
You would
like
think,
that. You know, like, I don't know. You figure they would have leaned into that a little bit, but Golden Knights sounds good too.
Yeah. The poker faces?
The fucking Lady Gaga is their mascot. I would have thought like, you know, like the Hold'ems or, you know, the Ramblers or Gambling Men or
Fake Paris.
there's a lot of choices out there.
Fake parents, is that what you said?
Got a little bit of everything.
We got the
Las
fake
Vegas
parents.
Fake Paris.
I was supposed to have a layaway in Las Vegas. I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas. I was supposed to have a layaway there, and then they canceled it and just booked me straight through, which I'm not going to cry about.
No, never be upset about it straight through.
Just looking like Christmas? Layaway or like layover?
Layover. I'm sorry, I don't fly that often. Fucking judgy. I don't think people do layaway for Christmas anymore. I don't think that's a thing at stores. These people have to buy shit at stores.
Kmart.
Who
If
the
there's
fuck
a
goes
Kmart,
there?
that still
I was going to say, who has a Kmart?
I think Walmart still does a layaway.
Does it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Meijer doesn't, but I'm pretty sure that that Walmart does.
Walmart's the new Kmart.
Well, that's I'd watch that. Walmart's got that big money. They might come at you sideways.
Hey, what did Walmart buy into?
Anything and everything.
What?
Elon Musk rockets or something.
I don't know. They bought into something like Disney or some shit like that. What was it?
Walmart can't afford Disney.
No,
Disney
it was-
can buy
but-
Walmart.
It was something they bought into.
I wish
Oh.
Disney would buy one of those stores and slap mouse
It was
ears
an
on it.
NFL team. It was an NFL team they bought.
Walmart did?
Yeah.
Chiefs.
No, I can't remember what fucking team it was. It was like the Broncos or some bullshit.
Are they going to
like that.
slap mouse ears on their mascot? Or are they going to swap their mascot to Mickey Mouse?
That would be way better.
Hey, the Mouse has owned teams before. They owned the Ducks back
That's
in
true.
the day.
That's true.
Until they got bored with it when people stopped buying tickets to Mighty Ducks movie and they're like, all right, that's enough of this shit.
Yeah.
And,
Sell it off. And
yeah, they sold it off.
and that's when they fucked up the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A
Like,
solid
oh.
logo, and then you just went to like a bullshit duck. Or, well, no, they did that webbed foot looking D for the longest time that looked awful.
And then they just went to that duck holding two sticks or some shit like that, wasn't it?
Yep. Just travesty.
That doesn't look bad.
I feel like we should be on the Sports Ball podcast at
I
this
know.
point.
Let's Coach Duke, move over. We're coming in.
And we can talk
Who's ready to start an NHL podcast? we know so much.
It would be the We Vaguely Know Hockey podcast. I know just enough to be like, my team's doing decent this year.
Sticks and stones.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh.
Don't give him fucking ideas.
Oh, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So if anybody out there that listens to United States Paranormal and is interested in hosting an NHL sports team podcast, then give me a shout. Golden Mojo ENT at gmail.com.
Sure you don't want to give him that long, convoluted, golden 80s one?
You don't want to make the golden image 80s at gmail.com.
Oh, good. Lord, that's a travesty.
Yeah, well, I haven't had time to go look for a new one yet.
What you done?
Brittany, stop by.
You just listening? Chime in.
You got
Yeah.
something
Then there's
good
a
to
chair
throw?
right over there.
Yeah?
You just have to project your voice
French
towards the
fries.
microphone. Sit in the French fries.
Oh, I thought you said you could eat some French
I
fries.
know, she got excited there for a second. She was
Are you
like,
still hungry after all the food we've had in the last few hours?
Not at all.
We had a ton of food. It's all been delicious. And
Do you want to weigh in on the current state of the National Hockey League?
I know nothing about
Nothing. You don't know a single team? Try one. Just guess.
someone from Toronto.
Okay.
Oh.
What is Toronto famous for?
What is Canada known for?
Maple Leafs.
Okay.
Hey,
there you go.
there
It's
you
the
go.
Toronto
You-
Leaves. They can suck my butt. Yes, they are. What do you think? There's
See-
only a few things they can name Canadian teams off of.
But it's always like animals or things.
No,
right?
no, oh no, not in
Leaf.
hockey. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Avalanche.
Yeah. Avalanche. We got avalanches. We got ducks. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. We got a Bruin. Do you know what a Bruin is?
what is a Bruin?
I don't fucking know.
I don't either.
Nobody knows really. It's just like a Hoosier. People don't know what a Hoosier is. But what is a Hoosier? Not the people. Like, what is a Hoosier?
Actually, there is a definition for.
I know there
Hoosier,
is, but
yeah.
do you know it?
No,
Indiana,
I-
your whole
Who
life.
lives in Indiana?
Sure.
I don't need to know.
It's probably disappointing. Probably something corn related.
I think it was. It was something that revolved around the basketball team at IU.
You sure it's not like the basketball team is based around what a Hoosier is? It's
I
like a
can't
professional shucker.
I can't
Like they
remember
shuck
the
corn.
exact one. They shuck
Husker
fucking corn.
shuckers.
They shuck.
Is it the noise that people make when they step on a removed corn stalk while running through a cornfield barefoot?
How exactly does that sound?
I've done it before, and I made a I made a very guttural noise when I did it. Yeah. Ah! And
I thought
that's where
maybe
it came
like
from.
Hoosier.
It's an awful feeling, ladies and gentlemen. Don't run barefoot through a cornfield after they recently.
I don't recommend you run through a fucking cornfield, period, because you come out with like all the scrapes and shit on your face.
That is-
From
No,
all those-
I took off running through one when they had just cut them all down, and I stepped on a stalk that was like,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, let me tell you, it puts a Lego to shame. It was horrible.
We used to sled through them. My uncle would pull us through with his six-wheeler, and we'd just go flying through there, flip off of them, and go flying through the.
Just destroying crops. Just
Well, they were gone by that point.
Okay,
but
there
they
you
were
go.
still on the ground.
You see, the difference is that when he was a kid, my uncle would take them on the four-wheeler. When me and Chad were kids, we hooked sleds to the back of the fucking pickup truck and did 90 miles an hour around the empty
The Polaris
cornfield.
was so fast, so-
I did something similar to that with my cousins. We had an old skateboard. Well, no, I'm talking like an 80s skateboard where it's like that weird shape and it had that big plastic stopper on the back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And everything, and we took the wheels, we took all of it off the wheels and the trucks off, tied it to the back of the pickup truck, and drove it down our street with me sitting on it. Not full well, not thinking about we left that stopper on, and in that stopper is two bolts that hold that stopper in. I'm sitting on it, getting drugged down the street, going 50, 60, and those bolts superheat and start burning two holes in my ass.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, like, that wasn't bad enough because I ate shit after that. I start to run after him to get in the truck, and the tailgate's down. My cousin slams on the brakes, and I just hit that truck bed and fold like a fucking lawn chair. Knocked the wind right out of me.
Sounds like a good time.
It wasn't.
Sequence.
Yeah, it was just all awful.
Hilarious.
It was all awful.
Hey, maybe you could have gotten to Hot Fuzz with that fucking
Oh, God,
that
it
deal.
was-
I mean,
it was awful.
that's all that movie was.
Yeah. Are you shitting on Hot Fuzz?
Fuck yeah, I'm shitting on Hot Fuzz.
Oh, that's a hot take. That's gonna piss off fucking Colton.
He already
so
knows
bad.
how I feel about it.
Oh.
We got into it when a couple months ago I was on there and we talked about how I wasted my time watching Hot Fuzz.
Oh, that's rough.
That'll be
No,
like-
it wasn't Hot Fuzz. It was Hot Rod.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, you be careful with Hot
God
Fuzz.
damn.
He will murder you.
What
you
is
shit
Hot
on-
Fuzz?
Hot Fuzz.
They were like cops.
That's
so they
part
were
of the
like,
Hot Fuzz is
Cornetto trilogy.
that's part of his
Oh.
holy
Ah.
trinity there.
yeah, fuck that movie too.
No,
Anyway,
Especially
I agree.
this coming week's
they were
episode.
fantastic movies.
Brittany's on board with me. She agrees.
You've never even seen it.
You are correct.
It's
I have
been
not.
really trash humor.
Yeah, it's the way those guys are. Though.
Oh god,
Oh,
I am not saying. I am not. Nope, it's not me, Colton. It
He's-
is not me.
Me neither.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with it.
Logan and Chico are waving the white flag over here.
I gave him the opportunity this week to make his own episode because we're here, we're doing this. So Colton is recording by himself. He already has 4 other guests lined up to
jeez.
do a Cornetto trilogy episode.
They're
on
doing
rewatchable series.
they're doing the Cornetto one
Yeah.
without you.
Which
It's
is
something we
fine,
talked
it's
about for
fine.
years.
I've watched all three movies, but I've only watched them a couple times. It's fine.
They're good movies. There's some that are better than others. Not gonna name names. I'm not part of this. Nothing to do with this.
Not getting into that.
I don't want to catch the fucking email.
Say it's gonna be a long episode.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll be a long one.
Oh, you won't get an email. That would take some effort to write you an email. He'll just blast you on the next Call Guy show.
That's fair. That's fair. I just said nothing, so there's nothing to blast here, unless he has some hot takes about my hockey takes. That's about it.
I don't know. Colton watch much hockey, does he? I mean, he's a sports guy. Don't get me wrong.
He'd be a Blackhawks fan.
I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people watch a lot of hockey these days. I don't think it's very big these days.
But getting back to that original question, if you'd actually went and seen one, I've actually been up to United Center and seen the Blackhawks and the Avalanche
Well,
play.
you used to be a huge Blackhawks fan.
No, big Avalanche fan.
Avalanche fan.
Yeah.
You used to have. I thought you used to have Blackhawks stuff in your house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't against them.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Blackhawks, but even back in the day, it's the Red Wings that I fucking hate.
Yeah.
They just suck. But anyways, the speed compared to the lower levels is astronomically different, and it's just crazy to watch. So
Even the Zamboni guy I have,
Yep.
or at between second, third period, or all the periods.
Like I said, it's
He's a
definitely.
lot faster too.
It's a sport. It's definitely a sport that is. It's like NASCAR. You know, watching a NASCAR game in person, watching any kind of race in person is way more thrilling than sitting on your TV and like spot checking every 30 minutes. But all right, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. He's doing all right. So,
go fast, turn left.
but this is all it takes from a non-sports ball sports guy.
You
So
don't even have to watch NASCAR
Grain of
anymore.
salt.
You just have an app on your phone that shows what position and it changes by the second. So
well, that's what I did with the Super Bowl. I didn't watch any of it, and then I tried to log into what I think Peacock was doing it this year, and they had a huge issue where it wasn't working. So I just was on my app, and I was like, "Oh, the Chiefs are down. The Chiefs are down. The Chiefs are down." I was like, "Oh, they only got 30 seconds left." And all of a sudden, it goes tick tick, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "They did it." I was like, "I don't know what happened, but they did it."
Yeah, I felt the same way I was watching that game.
But yeah, you were a little bit more invested than me.
It was a different year this year because last year we were over at Chico's house and watching the Super Bowl, and then at halftime, well, I've talked about this before on the Indiana Chiefs fans podcast. It was like the greatest day ever because I won an autographed Kansas City Chiefs Juju Smith-Schuster helmet, full size helmet. And Chiefs win the Super Bowl, but at halftime, I get a little football that says "New season ticket member coming in 2023." And that was when Sarah and Gunnar told us that they were pregnant for Sophia.
Oh, nice.
So it was truly the greatest Sunday ever.
nice.
it's a good Sunday.
It was a damn good Sunday. So last year, I kept waiting at halftime. I was sitting there looking around. No little footballs.
Nothing. Nothing.
We still got the Super Bowl.
I still got the Super Bowl win. Didn't win the helmet. I have won some other helmets, though. Won a Tim McDonald from Arizona.
I got Power Ranger helmets. That's kind of the same, right?
Are they autographed?
No.
They will be.
I'm not bringing a helmet with me.
Why not?
I don't trust Southwest Airs, and this is no plug here whatsoever. but I don't trust any airline. Yeah, I'm not trusting any airline with a helmet in my luggage. Gonna come there in 3 pieces and be like, sign whatever piece you want. I'll just glue it back
You can
together.
always just glue them all back together. It'd be fine.
Yeah, there's a couple pieces.
I have more luck getting there, buying a helmet, having them sign it, and then shipping it.
Shipping it back.
Yeah, like pick the most expensive service you could think of. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a bad idea.
at one part, I humored the idea of renting a van and driving out there to the convention.
How
and
far
coming
is it
back.
from here?
Oh, it's probably about the ride. Well, it's
No, it's probably like 24 hours.
it's probably
Is it
something
that
like
far?
But then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna fly.
Yeah.
It takes a
I hate
long
airports.
time to get across Texas.
I hate airports.
Yeah, I
though.
bet it does.
Boy,
Good
do I hate
God.
airports. They give me anxiety. They're crowded, and you're always worried you're gonna miss your thing.
I think the decision was made for next year when we come down for your wedding that we are definitely flying down.
It's quicker. Like I said, the only thing that's stressful about it is the airport. I mean,
Right.
once you get on the plane, it's fine.
The flight for Gunner's wedding was amazing.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
just-
was terrified because we had a 2-year-old.
Oh
Right.
no,
But
I'm
it
just
was good.
I just don't like
You guys flew into South Bend for that one, right?
No, we
Or Fort
flew
Wayne?
into Indianapolis. The worst
Okay.
part was getting the rental car. We had to wait probably 2 hours for that rental car.
I'm flying in right where my convention is. right where my convention is where I'm flying in. Like I said, I just have anxiety with airports because I dealt with a couple of years ago. It's more than a couple of years ago because he was smaller. When I had my son and I had to send him back to his mom via unaccompanied minor on the airplane. I took off the day from work to take him to the airport, get to the airport, get everything ready, and the person at the thing is like, "This ticket is for tomorrow." So I had already drove all the way to Houston and parked, and I was like, okay, fuck. And then drove back and was like, all right, boss, I'm going to need another day off because I fucked up here. Get there, they delay his flight, and they delay his flight again, and they delay his flight again. And then he's like, I have to potty. And I'm like, we're good. We got an hour and 30 minutes till his flight. And I was like, okay, well, I take him to go potty. He uses the bathroom. We walk our ass back to the thing. We come back, and everybody's fucking gone from the seats. Everybody's just gone. And I look at the lady, I'm like, where is everybody? He's like, oh, we boarded. And I was like, you said it was an hour and 30 minutes delayed. Oh, well, things changed and blah, blah. I was like, you guys didn't say nothing on the thing? And they're like, yeah, but and I was like, okay, well, can you open the door? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, and she can see the fucking panic in my eyes. Right. And she was like, but listen, we didn't announce it. Here you go. This is what we got. Here's a ticket for the next, like, what was like 2 days later. And I was like, oh, thank God. And I think I'm done with the situation. It is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is. Then a woman with 4 kids about my son's age comes up, and she's like, what happened to everybody? And that lady then proceeds to tell them that they're just fucked. Right. They're like, that's what we can do for you. We can't give you all the amount of tickets. You guys don't have insurance. You don't have nothing. And this lady starts screaming and crying, and she's like, they're not gonna make it home. I have to give them to their dad. And all these kids start screaming like, we're never gonna get to go home. Then my son looks up at me, and he's like, I'm never gonna get to go home. And I was like, God damn it, no. There's just a bunch of people screaming and crying, and I was just like, well, let's leave before this lady says, well, we give our last ticket to that guy right there. So every time I think about an airport, I think of that shit. It's horrifying.
You've had, well, yours was you set in what, Key West for in the airplane for
in the airplane for almost 3 hours because storms were rolling across Florida. So we were on the runway, getting ready to take off, and they actually pulled back in.
Yeah, you just hear it.
And then we went back out onto the runway and then pulled back in. And it happened multiple times. Finally, they just sat there and sat there and sat there.
That's crazy, because like when I flew here from Indiana for the one Christmas trip I did, it was we had we literally drove through a blizzard to get to Chicago, and my plane still left on fucking time. Like they were just like literally in that car ride there. Caleb's mirrors were freezing over, and his misters were out. They're gone. They're frozen over. So nothing. So I was literally having to lean out the window and fucking just rub that shit because of the salt and the snow and everything. And yet my plane was still like, no, we got this. We're good. Let's go.
Yeah, they're a little bit different up there. I don't know. I still don't to this day know why they couldn't fly over top of the storm, but
they won't do storms like that.
Yeah.
Especially that.
Not even here. Like they won't go out.
Yeah.
My other big one was Las Vegas.
I heard that.
Yeah, I went out there for a trade show for work, and on the way back, I had a layover in, I think it was Dallas, and it was so icy in Dallas that the plane couldn't even get out of its actual dock.
Well, yeah, because Dallas, we're Texas. We're not ready for that.
We don't know how to deal with snow.
We're not ready for snow. We're not.
Or ice.
We delayed forever. Like, it was probably 3 or 4 hours, and then finally got to take off, and it took them forever to get out, forever to get on. And
yeah, they're just not prepared for that. Where like O'Hare is definitely prepared.
Yeah, no, we have a freeze here. Yeah, Chicago's like, we got this shit. This is fine. But no, Texas here, it freezes and they shut down the fucking highway. We don't have trucks that salt or plow or nothing like that.
Right.
The assholes will go out there with sand. They will go out there with sand, and they're like, it's kind of like salt. It's fine. And then it just turns into a muddy fucking mess.
We use sand up in Indiana quite a bit now. They've they're kind of doing mixtures of both. So you can be driving along and just seeing a whole area of sand.
And all that shit.
Yeah, but it just adds a little traction underneath there. So
I don't know. I'm ready to go to California. I'm ready to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm also ready to be fucking done with it. It's just been over half a year of planning and getting stuff, and I'm ready to do it, have fun, and then after that's done, it's right into planning for the wedding.
Coming up next year.
I keep being told, like, since this is done, it's all wedding time.
Yep.
Like, gotcha.
Yep.
I don't know how to even touch that shit.
You got your time with your Power Ranger stuff. Now it's your time to deal with the wedding stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know what. She's like, what colors do you want to wear? What do you want to wear to it? And I'm just like, I don't know. Am I allowed to pick whatever colors I want, or
She'll pick.
do I have to
Yeah.
wear? Do I have to wear a suit? Do I have to? I don't know. I don't know.
Just
I don't know nothing
just
about
remember the
Yes,
most important
yes,
thing.
yes.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
I'd say I tried that,
Yes,
and she's
dear.
like,
You gotta
she's like,
say,
that's not
"I
enough.
do" at the end.
Yeah. See, I tried the yes dear stuff, and then she's like, no, that's not enough. You're gonna have to pick this and this, and she's telling me I've got to pick my wedding party people, and
Oh yeah.
Just remember the most important thing. You may be seated.
Oh fuck you.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's gonna be up there doing it, so all eyes on him.
I will write it in my book.
Just write it on your
I
fucking
did-
hand.
You guys missed it at Skylar's. At
Oh,
Skylar's,
Skylar had to tell you, didn't he? Or somebody told you?
no, Skylar did not have to tell me,
Oh.
but he did tell me. Well, we're standing up there, and blah 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 blah, and I've got it written in my book to make sure, tell everybody to be seated. I wrote it in there just in case. I didn't want to miss it. But as I get to that, there's just a slight hesitation, and Skylar's like, Dad. I go, what? And I say it right over the microphone so everybody can fucking hear it. I go, what? He goes, tell him to be seated. I said, hold on. You all may be seated. And I just look down in the crowd and go, you make one mistake one time.
Well, to be fair, it's pretty decent.
I-
Anybody with bad knees, it's a pretty large mistake.
I completely missed it at my wedding. I didn't even notice people were standing.
Well,
I didn't care.
To be fair, it's your first wedding. Maybe you're just like, people are supposed to stand the whole time.
It
Well-
was brought to my attention like the night like during the evening after.
But it was only my second wedding, because my first wedding was Brittany's.
Everybody stood.
And everybody stood because, we didn't have chairs, and it rained all day, and we had that time slot where it didn't rain, where we were able to do
get it
the
and go.
ceremony. And so, I mean, the only people that sat were your grandparents.
There was a couple rows. So
I don't know. I was standing. I was catering at that wedding.
I remember.
Yeah. I was-
Yeah.
we
yeah.
like to put our family to work.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Only sibling, and I didn't get invited to be in the wedding party. Fucking done dirty.
Not my fault.
Done dirty. I could have been one of your bridesmaids. I look nice in a dress.
Put the hair to match.
Next
Yeah.
time.
Well, I didn't have the hair to match then.
Sure.
True. But,
Next
that.
time, holy shit, I hope there's not a next time.
Not like marry someone else, but like I want to do a more gothic thing.
Oh, emo, fuck.
I was going to say that brings me full circle, though.
No.
I start with your sister's wedding, and more than likely end with your wedding.
Yep.
Because
Everybody else has been married.
the only other one, and I doubt that I would ever be asked
Let's
for
say you
it,
got a niece.
is be my niece Cordelia. So, I mean, if she would come to me and, why don't you come over here and sit down, and I'll move this mic so you can hear, everybody can hear you a little bit better. I feel like you're talking, and come sit next to me.
I don't want rabies.
It's not the rabies you got to worry about, honey.
Oh.
Weird stuff comes from Indiana. I don't know. I saw my first Black Widow today. That was kind of cool.
I saw like 15 of the motherfuckers.
I want to know how I missed them.
You can go out
You
later
walked.
after.
I mean, I was out there spraying them. There was the one the size of a fucking quarter in there.
I was like,
And
what
I had,
is he
to,
doing?
I had to spray that dude like 6 times for him to die. Everybody else died instantly. That one was just trying his best. He was like, nah, not like this. Back on the subject of weddings, though, you did your oldest one first.
No,
her.
I did.
Well,
She
she was first. That was your oldest. The first kid born in that group.
in that group, yep.
In that group, and then you did your middle son.
Uh-huh,
Then you did your eldest son,
uh-huh.
and then you did your youngest daughter. Your only daughter.
I think I did Brianna's in there, too.
I didn't know you did Brianna's
I
wedding.
did Brianna's, yes.
Okay. So then you didn't do Arian's.
No, because I wasn't certified. She got married before Brittany did.
Okay.
And I actually caught shit over that later on down the line.
'Cause she
She's
was like, "Oh, you got certified for this."
Why didn't you do mine?" I'm
Like,
like,
why didn't you ask?
I wasn't ordained at that time.
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh, that does make sense." But Angel Wyatt, who was a friend of ours, did it, and she did a great job. So,
You also did Scott in there and Billy. And
oh yeah, Billy and
You did
Tina
Scott
were there.
and Billy, too?
I did, yes. So
Nice.
I'd have to look over the dates to tell you how exactly they fell, but was Scott after yours?
Scott was definitely after his, yeah.
So yeah, and I think Billy and Tina came after that.
You don't think
and
you're going to
then it
marry a
was on.
Doan kid?
I doubt it. I don't think so. I think they're well. I've already been to Ty's. Ty has been
See, I didn't know
married.
Ty was
and-
married.
Well, he's not no more, but
Oh, that happens. I mean, you're telling me, like, technically, I'm the last one. I'm the last one to get married, but technically, I was the first one to get married because I was married for all of 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Everybody
Yeah,
forgets it,
that's
even
true.
me. So
That's true.
I think
yeah.
by Texas law, they don't even take that as a marriage because technically it was an annulment when we got it done. So
You
Right on.
still got married.
yeah, in a courthouse. I forget it happened.
It was a courthouse marriage?
Yeah, I
Right
forget
on.
it even happened.
So yeah, I did Billy and Tina's, and I did Scott and Bess, and I did Brianna's, and Ben. I had to think of his name. Who else have I done?
Hey, you married a lot of people.
I started a whole thing.
She did. I would have never thought about it, but to be 100% honest, I was super honored that you asked me to do it, and I was super excited.
He thought I was calling to ask him to DJ.
I did. I was like, all right,
Fine,
be
I'll
happy.
DJ.
I'll DJ. I'll be down to
No,
DJ.
that's not
I only
what
play the
want.
Cupid Shuffle once, and that's it.
But I will play Shine Bright Like a Diamond 10 times.
Yeah.
Your DJ was so fucking cool too.
Oh my God,
I'm like,
he
hey,
was so cool.
I'm like, hey, do you know this? And it's like, yeah. So you got it on your list? And this is like early on when he was still setting up for the ceremony. And he's like, yeah. He pulled me aside. He goes, I found it. I do have it. I said, I'm gonna need this during the reception. I'll let you know. And he's like, no problem.
Motherfucker.
And then I just looked at him later on. I'm like, I'm ready for it. And he's
That's
like,
awful.
okay.
That was awful.
He's cool though. He's like, I like your guys' style of music. It's weird. I'm like, thanks, dude.
Lord, just
So yeah, I think was the last one I've done was Montana's then. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do one other one for the guy that I rent. Well, I don't rent it no more. My Jellystone lot. Mm-hmm. I was he was my landlord for out there.
you don't. Oh, you just own it now?
Yeah, we bought it. We
I
bought
didn't know
it
you could
at
just
the-
buy it.
Well, I
it was-
bought it off of him. It's
Right.
out there. It's all everybody owns their own lots.
Oh, that's crazy.
So there's a few park owned lots, but most everybody owns their own lots. But he had bought this one so we could actually use it, and I rented off him for like 6 or 7 years, and then we finally got it pieced together and bought it because a lot of changes going on out there, and I was afraid my rent was going to go up way higher than if I just bought the damn thing and been done with it. So his daughter was getting married, and she actually contacted me, and she's like, hey, would you marry us? And I'm like, absolutely. I like her. She's good. She's a good girl. And back and forth with IMs and shit, back and forth, question after question after question. Sends me stuff. This is what we want. Okay. I start piecing it all together. And about a month and a half before the wedding day, I was reading on Facebook that they canceled it.
Shit.
So I go back and look at my IMs. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I missed something.
Nah.
Nope.
They just hadn't got to you yet.
She's gonna show up at the church and be waiting for everybody and like.
Well, it was a bitch of a thing anyway because they were getting married in Kokomo, which is
That's
what
a-
an
that's-
hour,
yeah, that's an
hour and a
hour.
half away.
Yeah.
And rehearsal because they're getting married in the park, so rehearsal was at 8 a.m., but the wedding wasn't until 5. So the choice is to drive all the way back home, all the way back down, because there was nothing else I was doing. So it was like I wasn't overly disappointed, but I am there. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Oh yeah, we had gotten married in the courthouse, and we're postponing, or we're not going to do the wedding
We're like, thanks for
ceremony.
letting me know.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said, well, thanks for letting me know.
Oh man.
And
That's
then
rough.
they decided to go ahead and have a ceremony. So she ended up IMing me back. She goes, "Hey, would you still be interested in marrying us?" I'm like, "Nope, gonna have to pass on that one. Sorry,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's absolutely
not doing
fair.
it. Not gonna do it." So I got out of that one.
I don't know. There's got to be like, is there like a handbook for like preparing this shit? Like, how are you supposed to figure this all out? Because like, I didn't even think about I know the reception. I know they get the marrying part, but like rehearsal. You didn't do rehearsal?
We did a rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
We did a dinner, but what is that rehearsing? That's just everybody just sat down.
No.
We never did a rehearsal because we were just kind of let's fly by the what is it?
Seat of our pants.
Yeah.
So why is it even called rehearsal dinner if you don't do
Well-
To
anything?
get everyone together because everyone's in town.
Well,
But-
we did it. We did a rehearsal dinner. We actually walked through like who was walking with who, and
Yeah.
we kind of discussed what was going to happen, and went through.
Did we play the music at yours?
No.
Okay, because a lot of the ones that I DJ'd, a lot of weddings, if I go to the rehearsal the night before, I will take a speaker and my shit and set it up, and then we'll
Run 'em through the
walk
music.
through it once with the minister and how he wants it done, and then I'll do my little, tic-tac, let's see how we do with time. So we'll walk through it once with music, so everybody kind of gets an idea, and then we'll walk through it a third time, and full music, full steam. So you guys everybody gets an idea.
You got an idea of what you're walking to and all that shit.
But it's good to have a rehearsal, because the one that I just did for in Indianapolis last weekend, they had a rehearsal dinner, but no rehearsal. So I'm standing there 5 minutes before the ceremony talking to the bride going, okay, how are we doing this? I've done it a million times. It's not like I don't have a general idea what I want to do, but at the same time, I'm like, exactly how do you want it?
Yeah.
And, the music and the parents walking down. Some people want different music for when they walk their grandparents out, and then walk their parents out, and then walk their bridesmaids out, and then walk the bride out.
It's not really a guy thing. It's more.
Sounds like a lot.
The
It sounds like a
girls
lot.
know a lot of this stuff.
Well, how do you know it?
I don't know.
You just know it. You're just born with that.
Interest.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch a lot of
There you
rom-coms
go.
and stuff. I feel like I should know some things.
Yeah.
I've seen Wedding Crashers.
Yeah,
Alice
you
in
probably
Chains
don't
remake.
want to go off of that.
Yeah, you know.
Listen, I'll walk you through it. You have questions, you call me. Any questions, call me. It's that simple.
We'll figure it out.
A lot of us have been married already, so we can give you some tips.
Exactly.
Don't take any from your previous wedding.
Wow.
Well, we walked in the front door and signed a piece of paper, and it was done.
And then walked out. You still have to do
Diesel
that part.
Fisher
though,
shows
just
up.
so
Well,
you know.
I know that. So I also think I have to show them that I got divorced at some point. I
Oh,
think.
I don't know how that part works.
I don't know.
I think when you go for your marriage certificate, you have to proof of.
Well, that's
You have to have
that
proof of
same
divorce.
court that we'll have to go to get that is where I got the divorce. So I'll be like, hey, just type in Logan and look for my fuck ups and just check that off right there.
It'll be easier than it'll be.
We'll see.
It'll be great. You'll love it.
We'll see.
Well, now that we've talked about hockey, weddings, ordained ministers, wedding crashers, hot fuzz sucking, and I don't even know what else we talked about. As the other side, we normally talk about our episodes, but since we are in Louisiana right now and we're all hanging out face to face, we are a little short on the episodes. So you're going to get 2, because that's all that has been released as of today. Because what is today? This is Saturday, the 17th of August, I believe.
Something like that.
So you only got 2 released. I can let you in on the one coming, that'll be coming up before this episode comes out. So you'll have that. But, yeah. But let's talk about the Vermont infamous graves. No?
Homegirl was first.
Oracle Pink was first?
Oracle Pink was
All
first.
right.
Graves was this week.
All right, I stand corrected. Sorry.
You gotta talk
Would it
about
really matter after
Oracle Pink. Right?
Oracle Pink
Oracle Pink.
or Olivia Black?
And she is
What she
out,
had written on her fucking thing.
where's she out of?
She's out of Chicago.
She's out of
Yeah.
Chicago. So she's a Chi-Town psychic.
She is.
She does online readings and in-person readings.
Yes. She does a lot of festivals and stuff like that.
Cons, festivals, all that jazz. That's the jazz fingers. That was a really interesting episode. Psychics, man. I just they're either really good or really not, and she seemed to be like really solid. She seemed like a great person, really friendly.
She was a lot of fun to sit and talk to. Basically what you heard is what we got. I mean, we didn't spend a lot of time in any pre-production, talking about anything like that. But like we did with Back to Paranormal, when we sat down with them, they just started talking, and I'm like, the rocker chicks over there going, hey, maybe we should record some of this shit that they're talking about, because they're talking about driving down fucking, because they're from New York, driving down, there's Tom Hanks running down the highway, and all she wanted to do was roll the window down and say, run, Forrest, run!
That poor motherfucker ain't heard that before. Oh, God.
But I mean, I'm like, okay, we need to stop. Everybody pump the brakes on everything right now. We need to start this podcast to start recording and then just let it flow out. So we didn't do that with her. It was, she had sent links and a video explaining how she basically came into her gift. And, and that was about seeing the little girl in that house that she was living in. And then and then them taking it, that little girl taking her to the kitchen to see the murders that had happened in that kitchen. And so she sent like a 20-minute video, and that's how we got to know her. And so then is that the rocker chick? Are you not going to say it? Come fucking say hi. You have 1 million listeners out there.
A million.
Now come around here on Brittany's side.
Oh.
So everybody can see you. Now talking to Mike.
Hello.
She's drunk. She's not going to be on the show.
I'm not drunk.
But we're all working on it.
So yeah, it was really, really interesting, her backstory, and she kind of touched on it a little bit in the pod, but not nearly what she did in that video. And then to go on and talk about, doing like Hemp Fest and how they paid her to be there, and makes it a little bit easier for her to just read whoever's.
Yeah, because you also
there.
don't have to buy your own booth and hope you recoup your money.
Right.
Like, you're starting off in the green.
Exactly.
You're not starting off in the red, so you just instantly get a build-up revenue right there, which is always a good way to go.
Yep. So, what else did she talk about? I know that she got into a little political talk towards the end, which could be or could not be controversial. I mean, I like it because it's one of those things that she talked about it. This is what people are asking her.
It makes sense. We're in election year,
Yeah.
and people are going to talk to a psychic. They're going to be asking, like, who's going to win the election, and this and that. I mean, that's a lot of people on a lot of people's minds,
Yeah.
and so I mean, I really don't think she has a choice, regardless if she's political or not. I don't think she really gets a choice. She gets drug into it one way or another.
But I thought it was interesting to hear her talk about seeing people like in hospice that passed away, and this is bad because I've talked to so many people over the last few weeks, but I'm pretty sure she was the one that talked about how you can see the angels.
Yeah.
She saw the angels come down and take the person away. We ran into that again in another segment coming up, that people had talked about seeing the lights fade from the body and so on and so forth. So, but I thought that was really interesting. And once again, another interesting point is she talked about we all have spirit guides, whether you believe in that or not. You have a spirit guide with you.
God, I hope mine's that Indian that used to be on those commercials that
With the
rolled a
tear?
single
Yeah,
tear when
yeah.
somebody threw litter out. That dude was built. And like, if I want to have a spirit guide, I want to have a guy that's just yoked.
You want the guy that's yeah, but he's picking up trash.
Well,
He's
yeah,
busy.
but
He ain't got time for you.
Well, it's either that or could I land Smokey the Bear? He's a bear. People have spirit guides. They're bears.
Absolutely.
I'd want him.
What-
Smokey the Bear's built too.
Yeah, but he's putting out forest fires and
You
shit.
can put out the forest fire that is my life. That's fine.
Nobody got the extinguisher for that.
Things happen.
What's interesting about her is hearing her talk about, like, the hard part of her job is like seeing how she would say that she talked to parents whose children went missing, and then she would be like, every now and then you have to tell somebody, be like, your kid's not missing anymore, your kid's gone.
Yeah.
She would say unalive,
Unalive,
because she's in that mindset. She does a lot of social media videos,
You're not allowed to
so she's just like, instantly that's the word she's go-to for that,
Right.
because you can't say dead or killed on there. You get flagged instantly, and that part of the job sounds hella unfun.
Yeah. But that's something she's very, very into and very a part of, is getting, trying to help find some of these kids that have been taken for sexual trafficking. What is it called? Yeah.
trafficking.
Yeah,
Yep,
trafficking. And doing that, and that's where she's putting a lot of her efforts in, and that's where she's run into a lot of problems. And she talked about losing, Facebook pages and TikTok accounts and all kinds of shit like that, because she's talking about this, and apparently people who are in the position to remove those accounts are removing those accounts because of that information.
So you got to be very confident in your gift to be able to, one, speak up against things like that, but also just to look a parent in their face and be like, your kid's gone. Like, you have to be like tried and true in your powers, and just be like, just know it's a thing.
Right.
Because, like, could you imagine if you were one of these, let's take Madame Cleo for
Right.
the lady that got locked away for tax fraud. She claimed to be one of the biggest psychics in the world, but she didn't see Uncle Sam coming for her. Like, could you imagine being one of those fly-by-night, like, fraud psychics and having the audacity to be like, your kid's dead, and then, like, a year later they find the kid? Fucking talk about a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be destroyed, and like people would hunt you down.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and rightfully so.
Yeah, you deserve it.
But I've always thought the psychics are interesting. There's all sorts of different kinds of psychics too, and you see a lot of it on Travel Channel, Discovery Channel, because you got your psychics that are like the ones that can just sense stuff, and then there's the ones that can see things. There's the ones that can write, and et cetera, et cetera. You got one for every like walk of life, really. And she seemed to be a little bit of everything, because she seemed to be able to kind of glance things from the other side, and just also like just pick up on energy. And like she said, every now and then she can kind of get a vibe for what's going to happen later down the road and everything. Because she talked about that with the election. She was like, I don't think there's going to be an election. I think it's going to be this, this, and this. And like I said, I don't even know how these people that have these abilities interpret everything, because like sometimes they're like, it's not a tried and true thing. It's not like telling you exactly how it is. Sometimes it's just giving you a vibe of where it's going, so you kind of have to interpret it yourself.
Well, and that was another thing. I have friends that are really political and really into the politics and stuff like that, and she said a few things that she kind of touched on from. She called them downloads, and with other psychics and stuff like that they were bringing in, and these are also things that he had talked about last year, is with the states succeeding and becoming their own. We're all still part of the United States of America, but Indiana or Louisiana would make their own laws, and they would have to do everything according to that. There would be no government.
Yeah, like a sovereign state, like they're in charge of their own shit.
Yep. So, I mean, that is something that's always been on the books, and it's always, according to the people that I've talked to, that is something that has always been a thing that can happen.
Hell, it's happened at one point. They gave it a shot back in the day.
Yeah.
I say that living in the South right now. And some people are ready for it to give it a go again, so.
I don't know if it'd be a good thing or not. I just don't know. But
yeah, Logan doesn't know. Logan doesn't do politics. I've got a firm belief that if you think there's good politicians, bad politicians, I just got a firm belief that ain't none of them looking out for me, so I don't give a shit.
You probably are not wrong there.
It's their world. I'm just living in it barely.
I'm just paying their salary.
Yeah, and that's not by choice. So.
But yeah, Oracle Pink. I really enjoyed talking to her, and hopefully we'll get to work with her again at some point. I don't know what's going on, but. We say Oracle Pink, but Brian Greer was on the podcast.
I think he said, love him to death. He's an interesting interview, but I think in that one he said maybe
16 words.
Maybe 16 words. Like, Brian, you still good? And he's like, yeah, we're good.
I'm enjoying myself over here.
Having a good time.
Yeah. We will be with Brian for for our Fowler investigation.
Yeah, you guys are actually going to go out there and do it. You won't put on an Oculus and play a spooky game, but you're going to go do an
night
actual
is still
investigation.
young.
There you go.
We're getting him.
Listen,
will the rocker chick do it first?
Oh, she'd do it. She'd do it in a heartbeat.
Spooky game.
She said
She
said
said
she'd try it.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Jeremy's a wuss, what she said.
She drink another beer.
She said, go, bud, go.
Listen, I've tried it. Like, first, I'm not a big Oculus guy because, like, it makes me motion sick if I'm in there too long. I have tried. There's 2 horror games I have tried. One of them was the, what's the Paranormal Activity? They did a game, and that was my first time in an Oculus. And I almost called her Kitty because that's what I'm used to her username for when I'm doing Twitch. Kayla watched me in it, and like, it's this house that you're supposed to walk through, and Paranormal Activity stuff's happening. At one point, I just crouched in real life, and I just sat there in a crouched form, and I was like, there's a fucking kid giggling down that hallway, a ball rolled out that door. I was like, every instinct in my body is saying turn around and leave, but the game will not let me. I was like, I'm not moving. Well, that's it. And the other one was Phasmophobia, and I walked in, and that's the one where you're a ghost, you're a paranormal investigator, but the ghost can absolutely kill you. And I'm in there by myself, and they're like, normally I play this game with a mouse and a keyboard or a controller. Playing it while you're in there is completely different.
Right.
And I reach to my belt to get my flashlight, and like, my flashlight starts blinking, which means the spirit's coming, and I fucking drop it. I drop the flashlight. I can't see shit. I hear a ghost coming, and I just had a panic attack. I was like, no. And then it murdered me.
And there's another one where you are in like a kid's room and you're sitting on their bed and the stuff is happening around you, so you like get down and you're supposed to go look in the closet or look under the bed and you're like, this is what nightmares are made of. This shit right here.
No.
And you guys want me to play this?
Yes, we do.
Well, you're always talking about content and stuff. You want some content, you got a headset. Get you a phasmophobia and go hunt some ghosts in a video game. See how that works out for you.
I don't know.
You get everything.
Some in New Orleans.
In that game, you get all the stuff. You get the EMF detector, you get the microphones, you get everything, and you gotta sit in there and be like, oh, I'm getting a 5 on this EMF detector, and then you gotta whip out your spirit box and be like, how old are you? And you hold out and see if the ghost says anything, and all of a sudden the ghost is like, murder now, and you're like, that's not great. And then you can either like light some sage or throw a crucifix down. And you always know it's about to be a good party when you throw the crucifix down, and then it fucking sets on fire and starts to melt, and you're like, I could say this is I could say it's paranormal. We can get back in the bus and get the hell out of here.
But all in all, it's still just a game.
It's scary when you're wearing the stuff and you're in there. We've been streaming it on Twitch, but I'm not wearing a headset when I'm streaming it. I'm sitting there with a controller. I'm not suited up or anything like that because I'm not about that life. And I still end up screaming like a little bitch. Because these things, like when they show up, your lights start flickering, and you can hear the bastard making whatever noise it's making. You hear all your friends panicking, and it's in the game. As people run farther away from you, their screams get muffled, like in real life. So you just hear your buddy screaming while running upstairs, and like you're like, "Where is it at? Where is it at?" And all of a sudden you hear somebody screaming, "He got me!" And then you hear like a snap and just thud, and you're like, "Oh, they're dead." And I'm in a linen closet, and then you hear the ghost start walking around again. You're like, "Oh, this is it. This is good for me." It gets pretty scary when you're in it. Like I said, playing with the mouse or controller is a little less scary, but when you're like looking down and your hands look like they're your hands.
Yeah, when you're in the VR, I get it. I love the VR. The VR's fun.
I wonder how many lives the VR has taken. Like how many people have had heart attacks
Well, see, there you go. Right
in the
there.
VR.
You just
Not even necessary from scary games.
You just got to keep the mindset that it's just a fucking game. You're not actually going to die.
You get scared, you get scared.
Get in it and see how you feel.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll let you guys know.
Jump scare started with that old with the little maze you played with the Exorcist girl. If you hit the side of the wall and she popped up and screamed.
Dude, you know what gets me is those fucking those baseball ones. Where they're like, you have to, and it goes right.
Foul ball comes right at your fucking face, and you're like,
yeah.
And the next thing you know, your back's pulled out for 3 days because you try to dodge a fastball.
It was on your phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get so pissed. Fucking hate it. All right, so that was Oracle, and then we moved on to Then we go on to Vermont's infamous graves.
Brought to you by the Rocker Chick.
Yes, and
she does love her graveyards.
She is a cemetery kind of girl.
Yep. Let's not word it like that.
You're gonna take her to one in New Orleans, correct?
I'm hoping to.
That's the cemetery. That's hoity-toity too nowadays. Like you gotta line that one up.
To be buried above ground.
Yeah, well, yeah. You don't want to be buried in the mud in Louisiana.
Right.
You'll float right back up if they put you down on the ground there. And if you're poor, they put you in the pizza ovens, which is like the ones where they're like, okay, you can sit here this long, and if your family stops paying for you, we rake your bones to the back. They fall into the big pile underneath everything. We put a new person in there and chisel your plaque off. America. I mean, there's only so much we can put dead people wise. We've been doing it for centuries now.
It's true, and people keep dying.
Well, eventually they gotta scrape those bones out of there and like dust them down or something, right? Because eventually it's got to get so full to where like you push them down and there's nowhere to go down.
We've actually done the tours of those cemeteries, and it gets so hot here that once that summer has passed, they push everything they can down to the cracks, and then there's not much left. And if there is things left, they can take it out, but there ain't much.
I'm just saying,
and
though.
then they put the next person in.
I'm just saying, though, is there's only, like, bones bones take forever to turn to dust.
Yeah.
So,
but
like,
if they're cooking in 120 degree weather.
It's way hotter than that, if you think about it. It's 100 degrees, and then they're in these big old tombs.
In the politest way, how does it not smell?
It doesn't smell, which is very surprising.
Like, are they that airtight? Are they out there hitting it with caulk, and they're just like, oh, we got to make sure the stink can't get
Why
out?
are they bringing out their cock?
They probably
But like, how does it not? It's all above ground. There's a ton of corpses. Like, you figure
It didn't smell at all.
there'd be something.
Third tier, like third, fourth tier.
Well, okay, let's break it down though. I mean, bodies are being embalmed, and
So when
all the
is-
major stuff's coming out. The only thing that would really smell would be the
Flesh.
rotting flesh. Yeah.
Well,
and that's going to be gone in
Yeah.
in 2 or 3 days.
Listeners, if you know why the corpses don't smell, please email Golden J specifically at theunitedstatesparanormal@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'll make sure that Logan gets a copy of
Well,
that.
that comes down to like it's one of the graves y'all talked about is like the grave where the dude made sure he had a viewing glass and everything.
Oh shit!
Like,
yeah.
but that
I was terrified.
yeah, but the thing is it ended up being pointless because these like dead bodies decompose, which make fluids, and humidity. So like his whole mirror thing was all
all steamed up and
perpetually
Yeah.
condensation. Like there ain't no way to go down there, and they should have built a rod on a little squeegee.
Yeah.
So like every now and then they'd be like, oh, he's a little fogged up, and just go like
That'd have been all
give it
right.
the old like wax on, wax off, so you could see again. But could you imagine if you could still see down in there to that dude? If fogging up was the best case scenario,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it'd been
absolutely.
the rest of forever. People were like, "Oh, did you go see the icky corpse of paranoid guy?" And be like, "Yeah."
I don't know. I thought that was when I originally read the story when she showed it to me. I was like, "This is really really cool." And then she said, "Oh yeah, it's all hazed over on the top, and you can't see it from all
Well,
the."
it makes you wonder. Like during the colder seasons, can you see the condensation?
No, no,
Is
because-
it always because it's always a level of humid down there?
I think from my thinking of it, take a 2-pane glass window, and you know how like in some older homes, those things kind of get all
Yeah.
that shit in between the glass panes, and that's how I see it from the picture that I seen. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Was it just kind of was
So
kinda,
it's really just caught between the top glass and
the
the
second.
bottom glass. So
Well,
it's not even the coffin. It's the
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the in between.
Yeah, in between.
That
And I
makes
think
sense.
that's all on top even.
Hey,
on
if
the
anything,
top level.
that's a testament to the people that built that because they built that thing airtight and it's holding up. If
But
that condensation got
apparently
nowhere to
there's
escape.
also a string that he could have pulled to ring a bell at a fucking convenience store that's like
Could you imagine like it's 2024, you're sitting there at the 7-Eleven and all of a sudden you hear the dead bell go ding 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 ding. And they'd be like, "Nah, dude.
Nope.
You're a little past your expiration. I ain't going to get a shovel." But people were legitimately terrified of that shit back then for reasons because it happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, they're dead," and then they just threw them hoes in the ground like instantly. And then you're having people wake up in there. That's why there's a ton of cemeteries with those bells. I mean, not as far as to the convenience store down
Right.
the road, but like immediate like bells like right above them, like just in case. Ping the ding ding if you wake up 6 feet under in your coffin, and hopefully the gravekeeper isn't drunk enough to where he just ignores it.
yeah. And well, didn't they find like claw marks on the inside of coffins when they had to dig some of those up?
Oh yeah, they're like, ooh,
yeah,
we dropped the
maybe
ball on that one.
maybe they weren't done yet.
Like he wasn't dead yet, but he's
Definitely
dead
dead
now,
now, yeah.
so that's fine.
yeah.
That's why they're just gonna throw me in an oven when I'm done.
So yeah, we had the viewing glass one, and then we had the older gentleman that built his mausoleum right across from his house, and then had an actual marble statue of him put up, and yeah, that one was pretty cool.
I love the people that do ornate stuff when they leave. It's like I can't remember his name, but it was the one with the dog inside.
Yeah,
That we
yeah.
covered forever ago. The
Yep.
one that he had the green marble eyes,
Yep.
and like at some point somebody shot in there with a shotgun and
Yeah.
messed him up a little bit. It's like if you're gonna get buried, why not do something ornate and crazy?
Well-
Like so that way you become an attraction at least.
Well, my thing is my mausoleum's gonna be in my backyard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you have to go through the city for that, though, don't you?
They'll be okay with it. They'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as they don't know.
Nah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's fair.
You think they'll care?
I'll have to find it first and prove it. So.
True that. So, like I said, that's all that's actually come out so far as this recording. The next episode is a chiller filler with Larissa from Kansas City.
Nice.
I think we covered just all kinds of shit with her. Chiller
That's what
filler.
chiller
Yeah.
filler is. You know?
So, I mean, it's great to see Larissa live on the video. We're going to be out there in Kansas City in November, and then we're going to have lunch with her again. And so, it's just doing cool shit
When
like
is
that.
season hasn't even started yet. Football,
No,
right?
no. What is it? Labor Day weekend, I think. Or
Gotcha.
It's
close. It's getting
yeah.
close.
I think opening is
Oh,
September.
I was about to say I'm about to sneeze, and then I scared it off.
I think Kansas City opens the season against Baltimore on a Thursday night, and I can't remember exactly the date. It's September.
You guys going out opening night to see them drop the
No,
banners?
did it last year. Offered it to Gunnar and Sarah, and they were like, "Hey, we got other things going on, so
I
we
bet
can't
you
make
could
it."
offload those tickets for
Already
a mint.
done. Already done.
People like to go watch that stuff
Yep.
drop.
Already done. The first to go.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll be heading out to the Tampa Bay game on a Monday night with Billy and Tina, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long is that drive?
What is it, about 9 hours?
That's not too bad.
No.
I say that, but I wouldn't do it.
It goes by quick. The more you do it, the quicker it gets.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah. We pick 72 to go across Illinois and Missouri, and it's a major highway, but it's not majorly traveled. Mm-hmm. It's not like 70, where 70 is just all construction and fucking crazy. 72 is like just a few trucks, and you're running 90 miles an hour. And
Well, don't be doing that.
no, you can do it out there. I mean,
Oh, is it?
the
Is it
speed
like-
limit's like 70, so you bump it up to about 80, 85.
Really? Is that how
Yeah.
that works?
Yeah, and there ain't no cops out there until you get to Chillicothe. Ladies and gentlemen, do not speed through Chillicothe.
Yeah, getting a speeding ticket in a whole nother state's got to be super fucking fun.
I don't know. Phil did it 2 or 3 times now. And I keep slowing down.
Yeah, no. That's why Logan drives the speed limit. He doesn't like speeding tickets. He never
Right.
had one. Don't want
Right.
one.
What else we got coming up before the end of the month? I think Rocker Chick. What was J-Dub's story that she did the other night?
Crickets.
She don't remember either.
They all kind of bleed together. You do something.
Well, you do so many of them, yeah.
I can't even remember what cases Tejas covered over what was Boozers back in the day. Like, I'm like, I remember we did this, but was it us or was it them?
Oh, yeah, she did Doppelgangers, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There's some stories on the Doppelganger, so that's an interesting story. So you'll have that coming up. And I don't know if Peter's story will drop before the end of August or whether it'll be next month. I'm not sure. I don't have the calendar in front of me, so I don't know, but I don't think so. I think he'll be in September. So, and got Star Williams rescheduled, so we're looking forward to that. And of course, we're getting into Clowntober.
We're getting close. We're getting close to spooky season. We always like to do it up in the spooky season.
Yeah. So not only are you slated for two stops, but what do you got? 2 Golden 80s you're coming to do?
So far, yeah. I know I got Golden 80s for those about to rock the album and the best Halloween 3.
Okay.
Which I might be the only person in the world that thinks that's the best Halloween. But,
I'm going to have to watch it now, ain't I?
It's so good. I mean, if you're expecting Michael, I get why the people were mad back in the day because they're like, oh, it's Halloween 3. Michael Myers is going to be in it. This is going to be metal. And then there's no Michael Myers.
Right. That's the one with the mask and shit. Okay.
That's the one where the whole thing is like 5 more days till Halloween. Halloween. It's the best. It's the best. Nobody cares what you think over there. And the Christmas is not bester. You better pipe down before I pipe you down. But it's great. It's a great movie. It's one of those movies that ends on a down low. It's not like an optimistic ending. You're just like, ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also, the soundtrack is just built to give you anxiety. It's just the music and everything all the way through. It's a great album.
Right on.
And then we'll see what else. Usually, I don't know for sure, but usually the call guys weasel me in there somewhere. And
right.
I stay busy in the month of October. Or in podcast world, the month before October usually is where a lot of the recording happens.
Yeah, I'll have to call you with a date where we record your episode. And then, of course,
I love it.
We are going to go live on Halloween, Thursday night.
Love live shows.
October 31st, we will be live, United States Paranormal. And I will get you more information on that as soon as I have it.
Yep.
But, yeah, we're going to do a live show, so get ready, guys.
Yeah, it's always a 2-stop heavy month because there's a lot. There's always an extra episode, usually something in there, and it's all, like I said, this year it's, first year was all dolls, so it was Dolltober. Last year was all vampires with Vamptober.
Right.
And this year is all clowns.
Yes, and we need to sit down and talk about getting a hold of Esteban
yep.
and getting
Line
that
up some new
getting
art.
that worked out. Also, you know what? We decided that for the month of October, we are going to re-release the Dolltober merchandise and the Vamptober merchandise.
So if you missed them, it's time to get them.
That's right. Get out there, nab them up.
Yep.
That Vamptober thing is amazing. I can't believe
I love them all.
we didn't sell more and more and more of those. But
We're also playing around with the idea of getting Esteban to scrub off the brewery names off of the brewery designs.
right.
I mean, and nothing's more spooky than the same business going out of business twice. So, I mean, but we can scrub the Poor Brothers off there and just have the trick or treaters there because we got Haskins. We got a Haskins mask on a kid, and we got a Casper mask on a kid. I feel like there was a third mask, but I can't remember what it would have.
I honestly don't remember.
Been.
I've
It's
looked
been a
at them
while.
100 times.
I'm
but
fairly
yeah.
certain there was 3.
Right.
I just don't know what exactly the third one would have been. I think it was just a pumpkin. I think it was like a
Could've been.
scary looking pumpkin.
Could have been.
But we have all those, so we will. So you get a chance to, if you are late to the two-stop train, you will be able to buy some of the limited edition merch from previous seasons. But more importantly, like I said,
Chico's wearing his
Yeah.
two-stop, the Hoax is out there T-shirt.
yeah, which that was originally a contest shirt
Yeah.
that somebody won, but that shirt's amazing. I made that shirt myself there. Love it. It's an X-Files parody shirt because X-Files is one of the best shows of all time.
And it's got the Call Guys on the sleeve. So you get two-stop and the Call Guys.
We're
And
just talking about all of our Halloween plans and how I'm going to be on Golden 80s and Two-Sop and
is
Yeah,
Call
see-
Guys doing something for Halloween this year in
We
October?
gotta have Cam on.
yeah, we gotta figure it out.
Cam's
We
coming in to
definitely
do the
gotta
Golden
get Cam.
80s.
Cam likes spooky stuff. He's
yeah.
more of a modern spooky boy, though. He likes that like gory, heavy stuff that Logan doesn't mess with. I don't mess with Terrifier.
Yeah, I think he's covering 80s serial killers.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe that's what we're talking about. I could be wrong. Please, Cam, don't yell at me.
But yeah, this year's clowns. So all you juggalos and juggalettes out there, you just come on in.
Clown Tober.
Yeah, they're gonna be. Hopefully, we can get sponsored by Fago, so we can get all that. We can get the Juggalo clowns.
That would be nice. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're down for drinking Fago,
I don't mind
love
Fago.
Faygo.
What's wrong with Fago?
we had like a Fago machine inviters, like one.
I can mail you Fago.
I don't.
We have so much Fago.
Well, I hear Northern Indiana is just riddled with juggalos, so I imagine there's got to be a lot of Fago out there.
Fago.
Amish juggalos.
Martin's
I heard it once on the radios, and I'm all about
Hey,
it.
I heard it once on the radio.
I like their face paints. It's nice.
Here you go, Clifford.
Have a Fago.
I love this Fago stuff. Anybody likes this stuff's good by me.
You can get some cola. You can get some root beer.
Oh, we just offended so many people. Juggalos and the Amish all at once.
Yeah.
One
Any
in-
Amish out here listening to the podcast.
Yeah, they don't
That's
have
fair.
electricity,
That's
so
what
they're
you
not
think.
listening to the podcast.
They'll never guess. The Juggalos might actually, though.
Yeah, the one episode of Two-Stop they tuned into were like, motherfuckers.
They just shit on Juggalos. Well, we support Juggalos. That's why we're doing Clowntober.
That's right.
Like Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, I like. There's 2 of their songs that I absolutely know, and one of them I enjoy.
A couple of them I just
Yeah,
hate. So
I like the ones where he just blatantly says magnets. How do those work? And we're like, okay, that's music.
I gotta say that I don't spend a lot of time listening to ICP, so
Better get ready for it.
I
You're going
guess.
into Clown Month. You
I
can't
know.
not.
We better.
Woogie, 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 woogie.
I like
Maybe I ought to
the
contact them to see if we
homies.
can use
I like the
some of
homies song. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got
I
there.
like 2 good ones. I mean, they have so many good songs.
Good stuff. Big fan
Damn
of
good
Juggalos.
stuff.
That's why we're doing Clowntober, specifically for the Juggalos.
That's right. That's right. So get excited.
And if you want to sponsor us, Fago or ICP or Amish,
I can find any spot.
be like, yeah, we can take payments, baked goods. Anybody got a trampoline they need mended? We'll take that.
Barn built.
Yeah. I mean, I could use a barn. Anybody could really use
I
a
could
barn.
use the milk.
There's a reason why like deep Southern Amish isn't a thing because
Goat
ain't
milk.
nobody want to build a barn in 3 days in this heat.
Oh God, no,
No.
absolutely
That's
not.
why they all settled up north.
Eggs. Maybe a cow.
Was it what is it? Happy Salt or whatever the fuck it is or
Yeah. Okay.
Listen.
Your mom earlier.
yeah, and
So I had to get her some
Chico
farm
just
stuff.
let her down. She
I
told,
know.
Her farm does.
she pulled me to the side in the house and she was like, "That Chico guy is worth nothing. He had one fucking job and he dropped the ball."
One job.
I'm pretty sure she said that she should have asked a juggalo to do it because they're more capable. They're the right people to go to.
In all honesty, though, we joke, but those Amish stores are some of the best fucking stores going around. Your baked goods and shit like
they don't
that.
fuck around.
Apple butters. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, when you ain't got the internet, the things you can sit down and
That's true.
master,
That's true.
I'm sure is just. But could you imagine if they put like a baking YouTube channel in front of an Amish person that's already great at baking? They could conquer the world.
I've got one guy that works like directly below me, and I like draw things up for him. So he does all paper like sketches, and then I take it and I put it into 3D modeling. And he will not touch a phone, a computer. He's like, there's too many temptations. I'm not doing it.
That's fair. He's like, I'll draws for you, but I ain't putting it in that devil contraption right there. That's all I
There's
use.
too much of porn in there.
Yeah, little machine.
The porns, I can sense it.
Temptations are calling me.
Oh, fucking! That reminds me of the Dewey Cox with the walk hard thing.
Basically, like Captain Hindsight.
Yeah. Oh man, was it the Dewey Cox thing? Was the play on the walk hard? Walk hard's the parody one. What was the Johnny Cash one?
It was a walk.
It was walk hard, but they did the Dewey Cox story where it's they're making fun of it, and they do his whole life story and all the drugs and everything. Then it gets to when he's like 70. And, like, the whole gimmick throughout the whole movie was his buddy and his band walking up to him. Like, he'd walk in and see his buddy smoking weed. And he'd be like, you don't want none of this shit, do we? And he was like, you know what? I do want some of that shit. And at the very end, he walks in on the old dude when they're all old as shit. And he walks in and he's popping Viagra. And he was like, you don't want none of this shit, do we? It gives you boners. And he was like, well, that doesn't sound so. And he was like, no, you don't understand. If it lasts longer than 2 hours, call more ladies. And he's like, you're right. I don't want none of this. And he's like, I don't think you really grasp what's happening here, do we? And he's like, no, the Temptations. And he closes the door and walks outside, and the literal Temptations are out there singing. He's like, oh, God, the Temptations. And runs off.
Is that Don Cheadle?
Huh?
Is that Don Cheadle?
Yeah, Don Cheadle was in that. He was his drummer in his band that was like, you ain't want none of this shit, do we?
Oh my!
It's so good.
Maybe I ought to watch that.
Yeah, but to summarize, Clown Month, supporting Juggalos and the Amish. And
How the Amish got into Clown Month, I have no idea.
Juggalo and the Amish, man, it's a tight-knit community.
It's a tight-knit community, yeah.
One can put up a barn in a day, and the other can put up a circus tent in a day.
That's a good point.
It's close, similar.
Absolutely.
But I think that's all we got on the docket. Other than we've got the Patreon stuff. As always, we have a bunch of merch on the UnitedStatesOfParanormal.com. We will have, like I said, in the month of October, we will have all the old Halloween designs coming back up for the month of October. So if you missed Dolltober and Vamptober, get it while you can before it goes away. Again, we also have older shirts like the Hoax is out there. If you haven't seen the shirt, it's an amazing shirt. It's got the UFO hanging on a string. It's in the X-Files font, and it's got the Call Guys badge on the shoulder, which I'm a fan of. Big time. And then we got, you have to remind me of the plug for the other merch.
GoldenMojoENT.com.
.com. That's where you can go to get all your Call Guys merch, I always want to say book nerds, but it's Court of Books and Booze. Golden Mojo, or Golden Image good
podcast.
Lord. So much golden.
Yeah, there's
so
a
much
lot
golden.
of
Golden 80s is
Yep.
where it's at. It's about time for us to get something new for the Golden 80s.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll whip up something for Golden 80s for Halloween.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll
Get it
figure
done.
it out. We'll
Get it
figure
done.
it out.
Figure it, dude. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to finish out the year strong. And we're glad that you're with us.
It's crazy to think that the year is closer to being done than it is being at the
God.
beginning at this point.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're staying busy, because you guys are recording weekly.
Yep.
Are you going night? All right.
Well, and all the sports ones come back. As football, as NFL season starts, all that stuff's coming back. Gridiron Kings has already started.
And they're just Gridiron.
Night, buddy.
Their Seasons in Hell is the new thing, right?
Yep.
And are they covering more than football?
They're doing
It's
all
football
NFL.
as of right now.
So we changed in case anybody doesn't know, we've changed the moniker of the entire channel that Indiana Chiefs Fans was on. So you still have the Indiana Chiefs Fans podcast, but now you have the Gridiron Kings podcast, but it all goes under the umbrella of Seasons in Hell.
Okay, Seasons in Hell.
That is pretty much the sports network. So You can go check out anything that's going to run on that RSS feed is going to be posted from either me or Chico, and going to be all about sports. And we're looking to build it. We eventually want to do an NBA team. We eventually want to do a Major League Baseball team, and we want to do a NHL team. But it's finding the right people.
You gotta find the people. With stuff like that, you have to find people that are passionate enough to keep track of
Everything.
it as a whole.
Yep. And NFL is one thing. You got 18 weeks plus preseason, plus preseason plus postseason. So it's a little bit easier to keep track of. Whereas with NHL, you can have how many games in a week, and
good God,
and
It's
then
all the same way.
and then you get into the playoffs, and you're talking best of 5 or best of 7, isn't it? I think it's best.
Oh,
of
it's
7.
same with hockey. Hockey, you'll be watching even if you're spectating one team. Like there'll be a week where I see the Bruins play 3 times.
Yep.
Like it is bonkers.
It's hard to keep. It'd be really, really hard to keep up with. So.
And then like if you're doing NASCAR, you got qualifiers and
Right.
everything else under the sun that technically matters. So like I said, it takes finding the right people with the right amount of passion
Yep.
for a specific sport.
And we'll eventually fall into that, maybe.
The one thing you love about hockey and basketball as a sport is like you can play 5 games a week. You have to have the players to play those positions, so it's not like you have the same team playing every
Yeah.
time.
Does
Therefore, you getting to a championship depends on your A squad, your B squad, your C squad, not just your.
well,
number one.
Major League Baseball doesn't allow pitchers to pitch over so many pitches in a period of
Yeah.
time.
I don't know the exact
So-
number.
So you got to play. You got to play it careful out there.
Yeah,
You got to
this
have
is-
their
well-
guy that's doing the best work. Being like, let's not
Yeah.
have him too. You
Go
got to
over too
figure
much.
out. You got to figure out your special way to do it because you're like you want to get a good. You want to set the tone at the beginning of the season to try to move you to the right thing. But you're like, but if we do good, we
Yeah.
don't want to
We
use
don't
them
wanna
all
use
up
them up,
right
yeah.
here because we're going to need them down here.
Yeah. I didn't know if like NBA was in the same thing. If they're going to play 3 times a week, if they can.
They'll have
Oh,
different starters
yeah.
and stuff, but
Yeah, depending on who they're going against, they're like, oh, okay, we're going against this team. They're kind of shit, so let's bring out our D tier and. Because you don't
Right
want to
on.
fucking burn out or risk injuring somebody early on in the season. Because
Right.
I don't know about modern hockey really, but in older hockey, they would absolutely gun to fuck somebody up.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
this guy is their best player, so
Let's put him out.
well, let's hire a guy that's barely knows how to skate that will fold him in half
Yeah.
if he gets his hands on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's like I said, it's a little bit wonky. Sports is complicated to say the least.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, Coach and the Duke are doing a good job of putting together the information. They're coming on strong, and I know that as you listen to their pod, we're working on their sound and all that stuff. We're gonna make it and get it improved. And,
Conversation we had.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
one thing you should
yeah,
finish is
it's
make
when you
your
start
sound.
podcasting, no matter if you're joining a network or anything like that, you got to find the mic that works the best for you. You got to figure out how to work it and everything. There is no podcast that, like I said, when I started this podcast, I started with 2 guys that went to school to be audio
Right,
engineers,
right.
and let me tell you the fuckery we went through trying to figure everything out. And even after we thought we had it down there, it'd still be a thing. So like audio engineering is constant work,
Yeah.
nonstop.
But yeah, go check them out. They come out every Friday. So the Gridiron Kings, wherever you stream, and Indiana Chiefs fans will be coming back in a couple weeks. So as we start the Chiefs season, as we start our season number 3 for the Chiefs fan podcast. So
Nice.
and yeah, don't ask me about Murder Nerds. I'm still working on it.
It'll come when it comes, and we will keep you guys up. As always, we'll keep you guys up to date on everything. We'll let you know who's going to be on what shows and what shows are doing what whenever we can. Like I said, in October, I will definitely be doing I don't know if it's all in October. I'm trying to remember. He booked me for 3 things, and I can't remember the third to save my life.
Right on.
I know one was Halloween 3, and one was for those about to rock. Something else out there.
3 episodes.
I would go hang out with Frankie
You know,
any
they call
day,
guys
any
at least one episode.
any time. I mean, I hit big call guys numbers at the beginning of the year for me.
How many 2-stop episodes you gonna get during Halloween? All of them?
Just 2.
We'll be on all of them.
I will be.
Listen to him. He's poking the bear over here. He's trying to get you to be on all of them.
Well, like I said, we'll see where I land. I always know October's busy for me.
Absolutely.
And I'm down to be on it because I love Halloween. I love the month of October. I wish I lived up north when it was October because you actually get to see the seasons change and everything up there. Here it's just always.
I saw trees changing on the way down here.
Yep. So we'll see. But like I said, we'll keep you up to date so you know what's going on where. If you want to catch me talking about Halloween 3, definitely come on over to Golden 80s because I fucking love that movie. It's so good, and a lot of people don't, but we'll let you know out in advance so you can watch it and then come sit down and listen to us talk about it.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see what Frankie better watch this one because I know over at Golden 80s every now and then one of you will be like, I didn't watch it. Or, listen, you both better watch it.
I will
have
watch
a solid conversation about it.
You hear that, rocker chick? I have to watch it. Just say Halloween 3. There you go.
Halloween 3. That's a good one. It's a wild one. You don't. If you've never seen it before, you don't know where it's going.
Okay.
And you'll still kind of be confused at the end when you get there.
When it's done.
Where did I go?
All right, man. Let's get out of here. It's good to be sitting face to face with you.
Yeah, because after when we're done with this, it's not going to be like, I got to pee. I'll catch you later. It's going to be like, I got to pee, and then I'll sit down and have a few more drinks with you.
Yeah, it'll be great. It's going to be awesome. All right, man. Take us out.
All right. So all you out there, you know the drill. Everybody's worried about what happens when you die, but don't worry about it because Golden Jamie will be sitting here waiting for you on the other side.
Later.
Bye, I guess, and stuff. See you later.
What, keep it spooky?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't even know.
Keep it spooky-oriented.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/2sop.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Golden 80s, The Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze, all of which can be found at goldenmojoent.com or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.